All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube's Pastor Dowell here. I know everybody wants to hear my take on what is actually going on over there in the land of Palestine with Hamas allegedly attacking Israel. There's a lot of things we don't know. I know that there's people that's on, different both sides of the fence. And there's a lot going on. There's much to be desired, but I'm here to give you my take, and I'm gonna give you the truthful take. And it's probably gonna irritate a lot of people because nobody, well, I'm gonna say some people just don't want to deal with the truth of the fact of what's really going on. Now, the people over there in the so-called land of Israel, the European so-called Jews, these are settlers. These are occupiers. Occupiers. Let's just use that word. These are occupiers. They're not originally from that land. It has never been their homeland and never will be their homeland. They got there about a Balfour Agreement in 1948 between the United States and Great Britain when they transplanted these people from Germany and put them there in Israel. Now, they did have a little portion of the land, but over the years they have done nothing but pretty much take over the whole entire land. And the Palestinians, who have a history of being there in that land, because it is their actual home. It's their home. It's kind of like the way that the Europeans came over here to the United States of America, or Turtle Island, what is normally been called. But they came over here to the United States of America, and they just literally annihilated the indigenous people of the land. And ironically, we're sitting up here today celebrating, or they are celebrating a holiday called Columbus Day, when he never even stepped 1 foot on this land. And what Columbus did do was mutilate, rape, rob, pillage, steal. But you don't ever hear that in history books. And this is the stuff called critical race theory that a lot of the people over here that's in charge in America don't want you to know. And of course, and the fairy tales and the lies that people want you to believe about something, you got to understand. Look at the Palestinians' point. They have actually been almost driven into the sea because of these people that are supported by the United States of America, these occupiers. There's literally came and taken their land from them because they have the military might and backing of the United States of America. Do I believe that prophecy surrounds the Israelis or these people who don't, they don't acknowledge the Messiah as the Messiah? No, I don't whatsoever at all, because Israel, just like the prophet said, is scattered throughout the diaspora. They're scattered throughout all of the world, and only Yahweh is going to gather us back to that land when it's time. And he is the one that's scattered will gathered. And so I think that the Hamas is over there fighting for the rights back to their land, because they are the people who was actually, they have history there. They were born there. And by the time you get the Christians take on it, you get the Jews take on it, and you get a lot of people who are so-called pro-Israeli and stuff, they're going to flip the script and turn everything on you, because I'm telling you, those are not the indigenous people of the land. Neither do they have any genetic link whatsoever at all with Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob. These people have actually hijacked the real Yehudim's laws, statutes, and commandments and culture. That's what it says in Jeremiah 17, verse 4. You were discontinued from your heritage, which I've given you. And then, of course, Psalms 83 is another one, another doozy over there. You got all these states that are confederate against us, the people who have been scattered throughout this diaspora. And in the last days, we're waking up and knowing who we are, even though we have had a stolen identity and everything is going against us. Now, this is just, again, and this is stuff right here I love to talk to anybody about right here, because it's just a flat out truth. But the Christians is not going to have that type of discussion because they know I'm right. I'm just flat out right on it. And they don't want you to know the truth of what's going on. And so Now, what am I predicting? I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna predict the same thing that I did with Ukraine. I told y'all before it happened that Russia's gonna reduce it to an ash heap. Pretty much, that's what these Europeans are gonna do over there. They're gonna pretty much use the military might of America, as well as all the armament that they have and the munitions that they have from America, because they have greater firepower. And they're going to bomb the living hell out of the Gaza Strip. And they are going to reduce it to rubble. And there will be thousands of people that are going to die. As it stands right now, there are more casualties on the Israeli side than there are on the Palestinian side, but that number is going to be reversed here real quick. Also, the latest update is that they have 9 Americans over there that are confirmed dead. And mind you, ironically, they're over there in the land during the so-called quote unquote feast days, which I think that they missed it on their calendar, but that's neither here nor say. But remember, the Most High said, wherever you be, you'll be like little sanctuaries. So, no, I think that when Jesus said this day, your house is left unto you desolate, that's what Yahshua said. He told them you can have it. And the only Jerusalem that we're all concerned about, the one which is above, is going to be coming down on this earth. And there will Yahshua rule the whole entire earth as King of kings and masters of masters. But right now, that war-torn land where there's no temple and no priesthood or no nothing, it's nothing to us right now. Remember what also Yahshua said, whether 2 or more are gathered together in my name, there I will be in the midst of them. So there is going to be a day when we are going to go up unto the mountain of Yahweh, into the house of Jacob. And of course, that's when prophecy is going to be fulfilled, when New Jerusalem is going to come down out of Shemaim, and he's going to touch his foot down on the Mount of Olives, and so shall we be with Yah. That's where the prophecy comes in, and over and over again, where it says that we shall all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkle of an eye, at the last trump, not the first trump, but the last trump. Right now, you basically got a bunch of foreign occupiers that have gained control of the land of Ham, and the people who are indigenous to the land are fighting for the last little grain or the last little grain of sand that they have left. And now America is on their way with their warships, the so-called police of the world. And the rockets are getting ready to really fly. So there's going to be more death. There's going to be more destruction. There's going to be more carnage. Now, I know that a lot of people in America would actually call Hamas terrorists. But I say that the Palestinians, they've been terrorized by the Israelis ever since they've been there. Go look at the map. Go look at a map pre-1948 when the Palestinians occupied, when they were there on their own land, settled in there. And then all of a sudden, here in comes the United States and Great Britain and just settled the so-called Jews into that area. And now look and see how much land that the Palestinians own as opposed to the Israeli. There was a rabbi by the name of Rabbi Weiss. He was talking about the atrocities and how that we, the so-called Jews shouldn't even be able to own no land, because right now we're in exile to Yah. And that is the true prophecy of it. And some people are under a strong delusion where they actually believe that these occupiers, these squatters, are the real people of the book, but they're not. They're not the real people of the book. Never have been, never will be. And then not only that, these are the same people, like I told y'all before, you can't even get Israeli citizenship unless you make a public declaration of denying Yahshua HaMashiach. The one that is our Peshka, our Passover lamb, the one who shed his blood for us. This is nothing but the truth, and this is the truth straightway, but this is the uncomfortable truth that a lot of people, they just simply can't get with, because they've had a monopoly on history for a long time, for centuries they have. And they've been able to rewrite scripture. They've been able to insert words. Jeremiah also said, you beware of the penmanship of the scribe, because it's in vain. And so they have tried to twist, warp, and distort and make things fit them. But those of us who are students of the word, who study and learn this, we know the truth of it. So, hey, it's going to be nothing but war. It's going to get real ugly. Even civilians, little children, no women is safe. No children is safe. Nobody's safe because the Hamas, they're just killing everybody. And now the Israelis is retaliating and doing the same thing. So let's just see what Al Jazeera have to say, as well as American news, and let's just see what news feed get cut to see if we really truly get the truth, what's really happening on both sides. But I'm sure that y'all understand and comprehend very well that I just told you something that you will never, never, ever hear in mainstream news media, nor over there at the Jerusalem Post. They don't want to tell you this truth I just got finished telling you, but I just told you the truth and the truth straightway. So there's one update. I'll get back with y'all a little bit later, okay? Shalom, shalom. King coming.